What is inside this cardboard flat? Well, I went to my parents' house the other day and my sister, who's also into crafts, was looking for construction paper in our basement. And then she came across this treasure, which is actually my old high school art. So today I'm gonna be showing you guys the same art portfolio that got me into art college. I have not really seen everything that's inside here, and I'm gonna do my best to try and explain all the art pieces to you. But now I think about it, guys, I was just creating art back then because I thought something would look cool. Let's see what, oh, I just ripped a piece. Actually, that was one of the pieces I wanted to show you guys. Oh, that's so sad. This one was kind of like a collage. And if you know me, I love dragons. This is kind of like a metaphor for today. It's like traditional versus digital. So the dragon on your guys' left is created with like GPS systems, cameras, laptops, anything you can find in a Best Buy flyer, basically. What else do we got in here, bros? No freaking shot, bro. My old iPod. I gotta charge this up to see what kind of music is in this. What? That is crazy, bro. Go on. No. Your face, bro, your face. Do you know what this is? Brother. What the? Okay, yo, how did I lose this in that for like 18, 20 years? 18 to, I don't math, okay? That's why I became an artist. Put you guys back down. I consider this an art piece. What the fudge else is in here? There's another one. How many of these did I do? Or I think the one I just showed you guys was the concept, and this was supposed to be the final. I like my dragon better here, actually. Dragons. A viper. I don't even remember if I used this in my portfolio. Probably not. Look at my freaking signature, man. I actually got 100 on this. Bro, we got the viper and driving on what seems to be the PCH because we got palm trees right beside a beach during sunset. Beautiful. I'd love to recreate this though. You know, guys, I'm an advocate for keeping your old artwork just so you have something to be able to compare yourself to from what you started off as to where you are at now. A lot of people, like, if they don't like an art piece they're working on, sometimes they just get rid of it completely. And who knows, maybe down the line when you find yourself getting better, you can try and recreate it. More so for memories. What is this? Whoa, okay, that's pretty cool. You know what? I'm not even gonna try to lie. I just completely forgot what the assignment was for this piece, but I can see that I used acrylic, some floral pattern, and there's like a, oh, I think I remember now. I just noticed that there's like a cutout piece of fabric with the floral pattern. I think I was just meant to try and work around this area. Nah, I don't know. Is that pastel? Gross. I've never really liked using pastels. What does that say? Snap? Was that the word back then? Snap? Oh, snap. Just a little experiment with graffiti, I guess. The next piece is actually all pastel as well. And it also says snap. I can actually still rub off some of this pastel. That's crazy. Everything from the bricks to the actual graffiti itself was drawn with pastel. I think I just like ended up doing it because I was bored, tried to pass the time, and because the person or the friend that I was sitting with in the art class was actually a graffiti artist, so he inspired me. So little story time. So I applied to 3 art schools. Actually, no, well, 2 of them were universities, but the one that I ended up going to was Alberta College of Art and Design, which actually used to be a college, but then they turned it into a university. So it's not specifically just art-related programs that you can take there now. You can take sciences, maths, and anything. So I believe in trying to cultivate creativity. I also think that this world has enough mathematicians, has enough scientists, the people who are actually more geared towards learning that kind of stuff. Whereas when we're growing up, dude, they throw us into these subjects and then diagnose us as kids with ADHD because we don't pay attention in class, when in reality, it's because we're just not interested in that specific subject. 45 minutes to an hour of just shoveling math down our throat. Ask yourself this, especially if you're out of school now. When was the last time you used any of the algorithms that you learned in math? Especially if you're not in that kind of profession right now. If you're not an accountant, if you don't do geology or whatever, when have you ever used BEDMAS or tried to solve for X? I don't know, man. Life is a metaphor. Whoa. That looks like me. Self-portrait, I guess? I don't know why I didn't paint the rest of the black on there. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys. I call this piece 3 apples on the floor, under some chairs. I call this piece Renaissance Noir. Nah, I'm just pulling shit out of my ass. And this is my other charcoal piece, titled The Death of Mabel. That has a nice ring to it. Little sad backstory. Mabel was the name of our first pet ever in our family. One of the main reasons why me and my sister really wanted this hamster was because we both watched Hamtaro. Y'all know that anime series? The one with the talking hamsters? I actually did set up this little room for her, so you got matches, took off the cover, and then I used the little box itself as a table with matches to elevate it. You got this toothpaste cap on top of a thumbtack stuck inside a bottle cap, and then you got a thumbtack on a dish, and she's about to eat it. Something's gonna happen. I'll leave you guys to your interpretation. And now I think about it, this is like crazy commemoration piece for her. R.I.P. Mabel. And then we got some more mixed media experiments, I guess. Okay, now it kind of looks like something. Oh, wait, we have more of that. Honestly, this is the kind of art you see in galleries nowadays. Very conceptual-like. And looking closely, it is a mixture of charcoal and watercolor or ink. Probably just find really nice frames for these and give them away as gifts. Like, this would look nice in someone's washroom, no? Guys. Next, we got a tinfoil dragon. I think I remember the art teacher was like, take some tinfoil, crumple it up, and then use that as your model. So I started off with this crumpled piece of tinfoil that I shaped into an egg, and then it just gave me the idea to make a little tinfoil baby dragon, and then the adult tinfoil dragon. But seriously, for any budding creative out there, this is a really good practice to be able to differentiate highlights and get better with tones and shadows and stuff. So, especially for someone who likes to predominantly work with pencil, you're basically given one color, which is like a gray. And then it's on you as the artist to control the tool, everything from the weight of line to help create that depth. Wait, what? No shot. Look at this beautiful masterpiece. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and I love how it's dated. So now you guys get an idea of exactly when all of this art took place. November 8, 2011, guys. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 specifically was a huge part of my childhood and a big catalyst as to why I kind of got into gaming. I would spend countless sleepless nights playing with my friends online, and this was back in the golden age of shit talking online and not being afraid to say anything unfiltered because no one would get offended. Y'all remember midnight releases? That doesn't exist in this day and age anymore. Those were fun for kids. Yeah, I definitely think I was already over 18 or else I wouldn't have been able to go. My parents would never have gone with me to a midnight release. Hell no. I feel like I should just frame this and put it up in the studio for memory's sake. That's actually sick. So we got more charcoal pieces. Just another piece for practice, I guess. Trying to get the hang of charcoal. I gotta be careful, man. This is still coming off on my fingers. All right, next we got some hero pieces. Try to hold them up like that. Okay, so me and my friend, the same graffiti artist that I was talking to you about, his name was Matt. He was the only other person that I knew was creating on a consistent basis and actually had a sick art style, but he was mostly into the graffiti stuff. So when we were done the assignment for the day, we would just use the rest of the art class time to create pieces for ourselves. I think he started off with a Hulk piece, and then that got me thinking, I'm like, man, I want to do some superhero pieces, villain pieces too. So I made this Dr. Doom piece. Tried to make the most of the pastel set that we spent a lot of money on. And then what a coincidence that the second piece that I would do would be Iron Man. Because if you guys didn't already know, Marvel has chosen the same actor that played Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., for Dr. Doom. So that's actually kind of scary coincidence. These pieces were not meant to be part of any assignment, just the spare time stuff. And then I actually remember me and my friend Matt had this display case in the middle of the school hallway that was always open, so you could actually just post your own stuff inside. We would always fill it with our own art, and I don't think the school did anything about it. It was kind of funny. It was like a VIP display case just for me and my friend Matt. Eventually we had like a set of superheroes and villains, just our own unsanctioned display case dedicated to the art that we created for ourselves. Our own little mini gallery in that high school. It was pretty cool. I think we're closing up on the last few pieces here. Wow. Can you guys tell who that is? Shame if you can't. I think we were just supposed to do a portrait of somebody. I chose Jackie Chan because this man has inspired my entire being. Our Jackie Chan portrait is made up of all of the movies he's starred in. There is no repeated movie in this portrait. Police Story 2, Project A, Rush Hour obviously, Kung Fu Panda, The Spy Next Door, Rumble in Hong Kong, Lady Rose, Flying Duck, all of his international movies, his North American ones, as much as I could fit onto this portrait. But yeah. Oh frick, I got some charcoal on that. Some of these definitely deserve their own frame, bro. Ooh. That's crazy. I think this is pencil, dude. Some of my old art is actually like more insane than some of the art I'm creating today. Wow. Yeah, I'm looking at it close. It's not charcoal. This is pure graphite pencil, my guys. I don't know why I put the middle one on top of a paper that looked like it was on top of the poster board though. That's an aesthetic choice. And I like how I signed it too. It's just like a negative space where it says birdie. And notice how I used to spell birdie with the I-E at the end instead of Y? Why I changed it to Y, I'll never know. I have a piece in here I'll save for last because I remember spending days on this thing. Here's a cool piece. Kind of like an abstracted scene. You can see that it's just like random objects on top of a piano. I guess the aim for this assignment was to use different textured materials, paste everything on the poster board, and then use oil painting on top of that. It has a nice warm tone to it, even though I'm using both warm colors, lots of green, but then you also got the cool tones of the blues. So beautiful. All right guys, the final art piece in this portfolio. This is still probably one of my favorite art pieces I've ever created in my life to date. It's getting ripped apart though. So I love wordplay. I love me my puns. Now I'm gonna give you guys a couple of seconds to try and figure out what the title of this piece might be. There's just so much going on in this piece. It's lots of detail, heavy detail. And all created using a Pilot fine liner, which was my favorite lining pen back then, and Crayola. So you got this figure with a clock for a face, dressed up in a suit, hanging by a noose. You know what I call this piece? It's actually on the bottom here. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's called Killing Time. Ooh, genius. I thought I was pretty clever back then. But it started with the title, and then I'm like, what can I do? I remember I would be one of the students that would like over deliver on all the projects, get all the projects done ahead of time, like weeks before the due date, and then I would actually have all this time on my hands. So I started off with that prompt, Killing Time. We can go into detail, bro. You got the baby blocks on the back there that if you look closely, it says birdie. And then on the side here, 2 blocks that are kind of cut off, has a heart and a U. So birdie loves you. A little hidden signature, I guess. And you got a stuffed bear here with stuffing coming out of his head. I made it seem like the page was flipping up so you could see working cogs underneath the piece. Broken hourglass in the background. All of these buildings are kind of reminiscent of childhood, things I'm interested in. So I actually got my friend Matt, the graffiti artist I'd sit beside, to actually put in a little signature in there himself. So this graffiti wall on the side of this building is actually his drawing. Loonies to signify that I am Canadian. Nah, I'm just kind of making shit up now. It's hard to say what was going through my head. But like one of the more noticeable details in the background is photographs being printed out right now from this digital camera that's connected to his head, that is also connected via USB to this photo printer. Basically signifies his life sequence. So the baby photo here, if you look closely, it's just the start of the day at 12 midnight, the dawn of the beginning of our character. And as time passes, rides his first bike, grows up into a teen, gets into skateboarding, eventually grows up to graduate, and then he's walking down a road, and then the last photo that's being printed out of the printer is actually a tombstone that says RIP. So my guess is while this guy was going home from work, he got hit on the side of the road by a truck coon or something. But you really have to look at this piece up close to appreciate all of the details in the background. Like, there's just little characteristics of who I am as an artist, my fascination with masks and theater, and then there's just so much metaphor about time passing, about growth, about interest, the building blocks of life. I don't know. Again, just making shit up at this point. Guys, art will forever be subjective and left to your own personal interpretation. I am in no position, neither is anyone in your guys' life that's able to help you navigate through the way you see the world yourself. You can get ideas though, you can get inspired. I gotta say though, this was a really fun trip down memory lane. I haven't seen this artwork in well over 15 years. Again, math not mathing. I think it's around that time, but let's just say these were definitely forgotten and hidden from the world for several years. So I'm happy I got to share them with you guys. It also kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of where I came from as an artist. It was definitely during around this time that I was starting to refine my style. You know what I can say is don't limit yourselves to one specific medium, or at least try as many as possible, because you never know what you'll actually fall in love with. And I am a huge advocate for just dipping your toes in everything. You know, what would taste delicious to one person might leave a really bad taste in someone else's mouth. So you never know, man. And then it's what you make of it. You'd be surprised with what you can come up with the more resourceful you are as a human being. You don't necessarily need all the materials in the world, all of the equipment, the high-end tools. None of that matters as long as you still have your vision and you're really willing to try and get your ideas out on a piece of paper. And also guys, if this video would teach you anything, it's keep all of your old artwork, even the bad ones. It's just something cool to look on, especially if you've been keeping that consistent practice of trying to grow yourself. If you guys have like a core support base or fans that look up to you and inspire from you, for relatability's sake, it's just nice for you to have something to be able to show them and say, this is where I came from. So if I can do it, you can too. Now, mind you, I have way older art than this that is incomparable to what it looks like now. This was like midlife art crisis. I have my particular style now, which is mostly the sketching, and I still do a lot of fantasy painting, but my really old art, like starting out, I still have a lot of those folders at my parents' house. So maybe we'll do another video for those. Night and day, bro. You know what would be fun actually? Trying to recreate some of these older pieces in my new style now. And with what I know now, I think that'd be a fun redraw series. So that's pretty much all I had planned for this vlog, was to show you the old art portfolio. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, kind of gave you a little bit of insight as to who I was in my old art life. One of the videos that I'll be releasing in the next couple of days is gonna be a Q&A vlog, a long-awaited beacon off with Birdie. We haven't done one of those in so long. So if you guys have any questions, whether it be life-related, art-related, I'll do my best, to the best of my ability, to answer those questions for you. Ask away in the comments. Be creative. Maybe I'll choose your question. I do live stream every other day on Twitch, so make sure you follow us there. Usually I'm playing games, but mostly I am doing my art. And then this is your guys' opportunity to kind of just like hang out. I push people to be productive with me. So like sometimes we get on Discord calls. Also follow us on Discord. Whenever I have my art sessions, it's just nice to have like other people working on their own thing in a Discord call, because it reminds me of my art college days, where in the 3rd and 4th year, you're given your own kind of cubicle art studio, but you're side by side with other creatives. So whenever you get bored, and this happened a lot for me, I would actually be spending hours to days looking at my own stuff, working on my own art. But when that would get repetitive, how I was able to combat that and refresh my mind when I needed to was simply to just hang out with my other artist friends in their own studio. And it was cool because everyone had their own styles. All the artists were from different walks of life, and it was just a nice working environment, you know? Kind of like a WeWork before WeWork. So yeah, thank you guys, Merry holidays, and we'll see you guys on the next vlog. Ciao. I honestly still can't believe I just found my old iPod. I thought I lost that thing when we went go-karting with my friends, and I would usually listen to music, which was actually against the rules. You're not supposed to do that, so that you can hear people yelling just in case anything went wrong. But I would throw on some Initial D music before we got started and put the helmets on and just blast Euro beats while I go-karted. It was fun.